we're
And we're
back.
back. It only took a year and a couple months.
Well, you know what? Good to have you back here, Colin. But tell you, I was looking it up online. I was like, it's got to be a year or whatever. And I think it was November 22 was our last previous show.
I
So
thought we
it'd be
did one
November of this year would make
April
it 2 years. Did April of this year of 24?
of last year, 23, because I we did one when I was living here at the new house.
Oh yeah. Okay. You might be
It was
right.
either April,
You are
May, or
younger than
June.
me, so your memory is probably not as foggy as mine. I do know
You've
that
just
the
got
last
so
time
much
we did this.
knowledge.
Right, sure, okay. I know the last time we did this, I wasn't regularly wearing my glasses, put it that way. And, I know we've tried several times, and I know you've gotten messages, and I've gotten messages, "When are you doing another show?" And it's just, life's gotten so crazy busy, and, I mean, you're going through a lot of transitioning and stuff, and, I'm trying to retire, and nobody will let me.
So are my parents. So
Yeah,
I I
right,
know the struggle. I know the struggle from their end.
right. Well, it's great to be back, my friend. I mean, we've been able to meet up for coffees and lunches and stuff, but this has been a long time coming. The long anticipated await. Await, is that how it goes?
Yeah, something like that
Pardon me.
sounds right.
Look at the comments coming in already. And I know that for those of you who have joined us before, you know that Burrows has a hard time keeping up with the comments because there's so many, but definitely share your comments and your questions. We want to have all your everything positive, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff as much as we can over the next hour. And we've got some interesting things to share. Uh, I know that the last time we did this, we had talked about Heavy Rescue 401. Oh, there's my new camera I was talking about. I was telling Colin I got a
It's
brand new
working.
camera today, and it's doing weird stuff. Woo! There we go. Wow, I think I got it down now. It's just focused on my big head. Um, Heavy Rescue 401 sadly was axed, if you will. And everybody's like, I don't understand. It was like the number one show on Discovery Channel when that happened. But politics get in the way, and at the end of the day, I think we said it at the last fundraiser. That's showbiz.
Yes, it
Are you
is.
missing it?
There are some aspects that I definitely miss. It was neat to be able to show people my journey growing up in the business because when I started, when we started the show, it was maybe 1 or 2 years into me actually being in a truck. So
Mhm.
now I'm 12 years into it, and I'm slowly transitioning to more leadership roles, which is why this has been such a hard a struggle for us to get together, is
Yeah.
because my parents are stepping back and I'm taking on more of their responsibilities. So between that and then trying to manage my own daily life, there's just not enough time in the day to get back and do this sort of stuff.
Wait, you have a personal life too? You have stuff you wanna do in your
I try.
what kind of industry do you think you're in here?
I know, right?
Colin, what's been the and I know it's been a great journey. You've shared a lot of conversations with me, but what would you say in all of this transitioning has been the biggest struggle or the largest challenge, I guess would be a better way to put that.
There's a lot of obstacles to overcome, especially going from running the trucks to running the business. It's a whole different side of it. So, I spent my 12 years learning how to run the trucks and, learning recoveries and learning each truck to run them proficiently. And now it's on to phase two of my education program here, and I've got to learn how the business runs. And I was fortunate enough to go away to school for business So I do have a basic understanding of everything, and I've dabbled in a few businesses over the years myself. So I have an understanding of how everything runs. But when you get to a company our size, there's a few extra challenges because you're dealing with a few more employees than just yourself or a
Right.
friend. So it's definitely been a struggle kind of learning how to work with people because, being in the trucks, you're mostly by yourself. So you learn to be very self sufficient, not relying on anyone else because when you're out on the road, you could be out there for a day just trying to figure out the next few jobs you've got lined up.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to step out of that mindset and look at, the greater picture of, I've got all these great employees. How do I manage them so that everyone is doing what needs to be done in the daily runs and making sure that everything keeps moving.
Yeah, well, and multiple personalities, to deal with, that's the big part of the challenge, right?
Hmm.
And, I mean, that comes in just in the customer side. I mean, when people hop in your truck, you're giving them a ride to somewhere because they're broken down or in a trauma situation of some sort, y you're like first responder in a sense of you're
Yep.
dealing with them right away, and, that's a skill. That is a skill, but, you've got the right parents for that to teach you how to handle a lot of that stuff. I would think patience would be, I know it'd be my weakest, skill in all of it, right? And we
There are
ran into each
days.
other the other day, I was kinda ranting on you, and I was like, "Put me in a tow truck, please," like, you know, "No, not really." Uh, so those are skills that come along too. Um, eh, New trucks or new, like, obviously, I know there's a couple new employees since, we last talked.
Yeah, so we've had a few employees leave for different career paths over the last 2 years.
Yeah,
So we've had a few new hires. A lot of great people have come on board, um, and a lot of great people have transitioned to different careers because the towing business is a very taxing and hard career. So they were looking for something to be able to spend a little bit more family
yeah,
time, and I completely understand that.
totally.
It's it's a business.
Not for everybody.
So, yeah, we've definitely had a few new employees over the last little bit. Equipment-wise, we haven't had a whole lot of changes. We're still waiting on we have a heavy wrecker on order. Um, it's been pushed back a few times, so
Yeah,
we were supposed to have it a while ago,
yeah,
but it's in the works. We're hoping to see it the next couple months.
okay. Is
I've
that one that you and your dad kinda designed together? Is that right?
Yep, yep. My
Yeah,
dad did lead on the design on that, but I had a few say in a few things on it. So we saw it a couple months back, and I was just choosing the layouts on how we're doing the toolboxes and a couple other little pieces here and there. But
yeah,
the next one I get to order,
there
and
you
I get to
go,
lay it
right?
out myself. So.
Right. I know, I had lunch with your dad the other day, and, again, we've been trying to get together just for lunch for quite some times, and we finally said, "Okay, we keep talking about this, it's time to do this," and we finally did, and, I always appreciate his time and the conversations we had, but we talked a lot about safety, and of course, we've we've pounded out the slow down, move over, and talked about a bunch of other things. But he talked about safety gear, like
Mhm.
lights that you put out on the road and lights that you put on top and hats with like talk a little bit about that because it sounded like you guys really go a lot further with the safety than is required and regulated.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we all want to go home. So the
Right.
more that we can do to get the general public's attention when we're working out there, the better. So specifically, we've got these new lights. They're called Night Beam, or that's the manufacturer of them. I can't remember the exact name of them. Uh, and they've got a bunch of different flash patterns. They're little circles. They fit right on top of our cones. So we can set them up with the cones. Um, and they've got all sorts of different color for flash patterns. We typically stick with the red and blue because it does get people's attention. And as long as we're not actually putting them on our trucks, it is legal for us to have them. Um, and you see those things from a good kilometer and a half away. And when you've got, 3 to 5 of them, it looks like, there's multiple cruisers up ahead.
Top.
So it usually knocks people down and gets them to
Mm.
move over. So it's a nice little feature for us to have.
Yeah, I remember way back in the day, and that was something your dad taught me. And of course, the lights were different, and it was put certain lights on. I think they were just the four ways. Just put those on,
Yep.
and from far, far away, he said, and it looks like a cop up ahead, and they'll slow him down every time. And boy, I started doing that. It works.
Yep.
And that's just another way to stay safe out there, right? And um, that's good that you guys. It is important. You do want to get home, right? So, all right, we're going to shift a little bit here, Colin, and get over to the comments before we get into some other things. I do want to say
Yeah.
hello and welcome everybody. If you're just joining us, we are back, and we've been working on this for quite some time. We're up to about 70 live viewers. Now, here's what I would like to see, everybody. If you could click the share button wherever you're watching, we're live on Twitch, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, where else? Preferred towing site. We're on Facebook with. Okay, so click the share button. Wouldn't it be cool if we could hit the 100 mark? That would
That'd
just
be
be quite a
awesome.
celebration. So, we will, of course, want you to click the like. Actually, forget the like. Just click the love button because
Yeah.
what's not to love, right? And we'd really appreciate that. Okay, and if you're watching the replay of this, please also share that around. Okay, let's get to some comments. Joseph says, "Hi, Colin. Hi, David. Hey, Joe."
Hi, Joseph.
And Keith Curry.
Hey, Keith. We were just talking the other day.
Oh, there you go. And of course, it would not
Jack
be the same
came.
without Jack Kane. Thanks for being here, Jack. T-Bone Camaro.
Hey, T-Bone.
Do you know who that is?
I don't know his actual name, but he's been on. He's
He
watched the live
he's been on
stream
here
since
before.
day
Yeah,
one. Oh yeah.
that's a cool name, T-Bone Camaro. Right on. Where are we here? Hugh Beatty. Welcome back, guys. Nice to see you both looking
Hey,
happy and
Yudi.
healthy.
You.
See, I don't know what that means, Jack. Hello, Colin, David. It's nice to see both of you again. How are your parents? How is the team? Any news on you starting another heavy rescue show? Let's answer this one. There's a lot of questions there.
Hey, Rachel. So yeah, unfortunately, I think the show is all done. We haven't had anyone reach out to us, so it sounds like it's dead in the water. But you know what? It was a good run. It's still fun to do stuff like this to share our adventures, and I post every once in a while on Facebook to keep everyone updated. So yeah, unfortunately, unless some other network reaches out to us, I don't see anything happening. But
Yeah. Now, that being said, I don't know that we put this out there before. I know we'd kind of teased a little bit. Um, Colin and I did have conversation about doing a YouTube channel and trying to fulfill some of that void. Now, obviously, I don't have the same production stuff that Discovery Channel or any of those big companies do, so it would look a little different. And we may still. It's time consuming. That's the
yep,
big thing, right? And if Colin had to call me in the middle of the night, I would go, but it's not always. It's just maybe still something there. Maybe we can get in the yard and do stuff like that. And then, but sadly, you probably won't see anything like heavy rescue from us just because of the time constraint. That's all, right? We would love to do it. We do have a video that I didn't get ready and prepared for tonight, but once I get it shown to Colin and he puts his stamp of approval, maybe that's something because we did do one video
yep.
and maybe that's something. Okay, I'm teasing you now, everybody, but
Honestly, that was actually a year ago. Thinking about that, that was a year ago that you filmed that.
no, it was longer than that. It was during
No,
COVID.
no, it was that was last year because we were up at the cottage, and that's next week. That was a year ago next week.
I think it was 2 years ago, but
No, it was. I know it was last year.
all right,
It's
you win.
crazy.
What he said. But anyway, I thought it was longer than that. It feels longer than that, but
It does.
I do
Time
have a
flies.
video where, and we'll show you some pictures of what we're talking about coming up here. But and as far as your parents, I saw them both the other day. Yesterday actually, I saw them.
Yep, they're doing well. We're all going away up north next week, so just try to get a little break from everything. You need that every once in a while, and
Right.
my parents have definitely been trying to do more of that over the last little bit. They've been
Oh yeah.
stepping out and taking mini vacations over the last year, so that's been nice to see them able to get out and do that and enjoy themselves a little bit more instead of being tied to the business like they have
Yep.
been. So
Yep.
yeah.
I see the pictures of the RV adventures and the fires and stuff, and I think more and more when you do that, you start to go, I could really get comfortable with this.
Yep.
There's Danielle Platt, huge fan of yours.
Hi, Daniel.
Darlene, glad you're back. We're glad to be back too.
Hey,
So,
Darlene. Thanks for watching.
okay, we're gonna reveal your age here, Colin. How old is Colin?
Oh, let's see if we can get any guesses first.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll do that at the
yeah.
end of the video because I get that a lot. I do get that a ton.
Well, you still look
Um,
12 to me.
yeah, I know.
Okay, there you go. All right, okay, so there you go, folks. There's the challenge from Colin. If you think you know how old he is, throw that down in the comments, and we'll run through. He's older than 12. I can tell you that for sure. Right? Ah, yes, Lisa Terry Berry. How you doing, Lisa?
Hey, Lisa.
Lisa, it's a thing you wouldn't understand. I don't even want to know. Huge fans. So, how many records do you guys have from Dylan O'Neill? Thanks, Dylan.
Hey, Dylan. So now we've got 5 light duty trucks. We've got 4 heavy wreckers, a heavy flatbed, 3 tractors, 3 floats, 2 service pickup trucks, skid steer, um, a service trailer, and I think that's everything.
There you go.
Hard to keep
Cool.
track.
A nice fleet. What do we got here? Oh, here's another one from Jack. Okay. Start with Dave. I just want to give you a big shout out for your ride with the riders to help out Ohana Landing. It was awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks,
thanks.
Jack. So for those of you who don't know what Jack's talking about, I'm a motorcycle rider, and so is my wife and my son. And 5 years ago, during COVID, we started what's called the Ride of Respect. So we drive through the city, and now we drive through uh, surrounding cities, and just to make awareness of motorcycles on the road, and to just remind each other to just respect each other on the road and when you're walking around and all that stuff. And then we take donations and give that to Ohana Landing, which was yesterday when I saw your mom and dad and myself and my good friend Christopher is a big part of helping me put that together. So we handed them $1,500 yesterday to support Ohana Landing. So
Is much appreciated,
yeah, well,
Dave.
it's not a
It's
lot, but I know every little bit helped. But it's Ohana's tugs on my heartstrings for personal reasons, so I'm happy to help out with that. And it's not just me; it's all the riders coming together. So thanks for that, Jack. Uh, Robert James Gale from Cambridge. Keep up the amazing work.
Thank you, Robert.
Jack likes the new background.
Yeah, it's a little different since well, I guess last time I was in my kitchen there staring out at my backyard, but yeah, this is my new office slash spare room space. I got my gecko enclosure. I actually just moved him over to that
Oh,
today.
there you go.
So
Oh, okay. I wondered where that
yeah,
was. Well, that kind of looks
massive
like a cool place to live.
Yeah, massive Bavarian there. So I don't know where he's hiding right now, but
All right.
he's getting the lay of the land right now.
Right on. Ray says, hello from Hillsborough, North Carolina.
Hey, Ray.
Right
Thanks for
on.
tuning in.
Yeah. Ryan says, long time no see. Yeah.
Hi, Ryan.
Greg, heavy rescue from Cornwall, Ontario.
Hey, Greg. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, Arkansas. There's Brian
Oh, wow.
Jackson.
Hi, Brian.
Oh boy, look at this. Hi there from Canastota, New York. I hope I said that right.
I think so.
Okay. Good evening from UK, Great Britain. Andrew McDermott. Thanks you so much.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
because
watching,
it's
Andrew. Midnight? Close to?
like 11:20 now, 11:22.
Wow.
I haven't got a text from your dad yet, so we're still doing okay.
I think he's driving right now. He was
Yeah.
heading up to Toronto, so
Okay, here's an interesting one. I think it's most unlikely recovery ever done. Most unlikely. That's
I hate being
interesting.
put on the spot because I'm like, I have these in my head, and then as soon as someone asks us, I'm like,
Uh,
I can't remember. Honestly, it would have to be right now the upside down recovery because like the physics behind that are just so phenomenal for the truck to land perfectly upside down with the wheels facing up. Um,
right.
it doesn't happen. Like most guys will go through an entire career and never see it once.
Right.
Um, I've seen pictures of it a handful of times, and of course, our wreck that we did that was wheels up. Um, you know, I'll probably never see that in my career ever again. So
Right.
it's just that one was pretty cool and pretty wild. I'm sure I could, if I had more time and was actually able to recall everything, I'm pretty sure I've got some other unlikely ones that were probably better than that, but that's all I can come up with right now.
Okay. All right. All right. It's fair enough though. Like I get asked similar questions like, who's your favorite person you've interviewed and or most famous or something, and I'm always like right.
Yeah,
Colin.
that one guy, I don't
One guy,
know.
right. Courtney's here from Soups Up in Sarnia. Oh, I got to get back there for lunch. I've been there only like twice, and it's amazing. But she says thanks for the tow back in June when she hit a deer. You guys were very personal.
Well, thank you for calling us, Courtney. Yeah, we love stopping in Soup's Up. Oh, it's so good. And if you're in town and you want soup, like go there, check that out. They've got, I don't know, like 20, 30 different soups
Yeah,
on the menu. There's some pretty good soups.
yeah. With Jennifer and I have been in there twice. The first time we went in there, we didn't know like we'd heard a lot of great things, and I was like, yeah,
Mhm.
we got. I was like, why have we not been here before? So yeah, congrats. Always like to see a small business do well as well.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and they started out just like us, a small business,
yeah.
and they've grown to quite the operation now.
Mike Horan says, hello, Colin. How's it going? Yeah.
Hey, Mike,
Okay. The the ages have shown up.
they've started to come in. Okay.
Yeah, they have. Pardon me. Um, wow.
Keep in mind, I gave everyone a hint because I did say how long I've been doing this for.
Right. So we've got 29, Greg Hockey, 27, 9 years later, whatever that means. 33, 30, 30. I don't even remember how old you are now.
Well, Hugh,
Um,
Hugh and Rachel have got it.
is that 30?
Yep, I just turned 30 back in May,
Yeah,
so
right. Okay, there you go.
they
Nice.
were paying attention.
Yeah. At least this is better than it was at Christmas time. Okay. Carl Freeman from Oshawa says, hello.
Hi, Carl.
Peter thought you were 25. Greg Honke from Greg's Auto Detail. You're in Sarnia as well. Greg's,
Yeah,
yeah, Greg's
another
got another
fine
32. Yeah.
local business.
Carl Freeman, ham operator. So yeah, Carl is a ham radio operator, and I'm a ham radio operator too. If you don't know what that means, like yeah, we talk on radios, but it's not CB. It's more of a technical
Shaped
thing.
like a
Yeah.
ham.
Right. Oh, you're such a ham. Stop it. Do you have a link for the donations? Are you talking about for Ohana Landing?
I'm
I'm guessing
assuming
that's what she
so.
was talking about. Well, that's a good question. Here is if you want to purchase some merchandise from Preferred Towing that still has Heavy Rescue on it.
Yep,
They've got some nice mugs and hoodies and shirts, whatever. Just go to preferredtowing.com. Yeah, there you go.
got the mugs.
Those are really cool. I haven't got one of those yet. I gotta get one of those. Except that I already have like
A
20 of these
million.
in my cupboard. People give me stuff
I
all
know.
the time. I'm like, thank you very much. I don't have room for that. Um, but anything you purchase there, the profits from the merchandise goes towards Ohana Landing. So it's kind of win-win. You get some nice merchandise, and you're helping out Ohana Landing as well. So I hope that answers your question there, Rachel.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, if you wanted to do just a straight up donation, if you email, there's a couple email links on our website as well. Um, they'll take you to Carol, and then she deals with all of the merchandise slash donations and stuff like that. So that is an option as well.
Right. Yeah. Cheers to both of you. Thanks, Greg. Well, here's an interesting question. I think I know the answer, but Jack wants to know, has business slowed down since HR 401 is over?
So, and that's the funny thing. And that's a great question
Yeah.
because everyone always asks, you know, you guys must be so busy because of the show. And it's like, but we aren't because we don't sell a product worldwide aside from the merchandise, but
Yeah.
that's its own thing.
Right.
Um, so realistically, we're limited to people who are traveling through the area and they break down by chance. So
Yeah.
yes, we do every once in a while get someone who calls us strictly because they've watched the show and they broke down in town. But in general, there's no real difference. The markets are doing some funny things right now. We've had a lot of shutdowns over the last little bit in the big refineries, so those usually keep us busy. But then now all those have ended, so work is slowing down a little bit. But there's always something to be done. Like I've got trucks going all across the province
Yeah.
almost daily, so
Yeah.
it
Great
keeps us
question
busy.
though. Like, I mean, it's a fair question.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
yeah, for sure. Um, and still people though reaching out and
Yeah.
wanting to come by and just they were traveling. I know some people have made a point to go out of their way to stop at Preferred Towing. They're from out of town. You've had people from other countries who are traveling
Yep.
through. That kind of thing still happens.
Yeah, gosh, it's probably I'd say at least once a month, maybe twice a month, we have someone stop in from like really far out of town. We do have a lot of locals that really enjoy the show, so they stop in, every couple weeks or something like that. But yeah, I would say the summer is definitely busier for that. We get a lot more people coming from like overseas, from
Okay.
Europe and stuff like that. They'll come down to visit relatives, and then they'll make the drive down to check out our operations. So it's always kind of fun and exciting when you're talking to someone from halfway across the world who's watched the show, and now they're getting to see what our operation
Yeah.
is like in person.
Yeah. I know we were and also sometimes when you can do come to events.
Yep.
I know you guys do that as much as you can, but understanding that it does take time and some money to fire up the trucks and get there and travel. But I know that's something that your dad was recently at. I think it was King George had an event and he come out with the
Yep.
rotator and he likes doing that kind of stuff. I know that too, right? So that's
Yes, he
cool.
does.
I always call ahead when I'm coming by because that means they know they gotta put aside a couple of hours, 'cause I'll talk, talk, talk. I think your mom was
Ah,
proud
we
of me
like you.
yesterday. I was like, "Okay, I gotta go, bye."
Places to see, people to be. Oh, wait, no, that's not how
Place
it
people to see and places to go, something like that. Okay, Jordan says, "Howdy, superstar from Sarnia." Hey, Jordan.
is. Hey, Jordan.
Oh, this is an
Good old
interesting
from the
one.
good old CarQuest days.
Oh, yeah, is that right? Oh, you know Jordan?
Yeah, she worked at CarQuest, so
Okay, nice.
and I frequented there fairly often. Seems to me that I buy a lot of parts for vehicles because I like to buy old vehicles and rebuild them.
We'll talk about that. Let's talk about that before we move on to some more comments here. I know, like, well, you said to me one time because I said, "Hey, your mom and dad got this RV thing. I'm thinking I might want to get into that." And you're like, "Let me know what you need, and I'll look for it." You do this, you buy and sell parts, right?
Yep. So that's kind of my side hobby. So Facebook Marketplace has become a bit of an addiction. I guess a lot of people have this problem. But yeah, I spend a lot of time on Facebook Marketplace, just kind of stockpiling stuff of like, oh yeah, I like this or I like that, and I can use this or I can buy a vehicle and part it out. And
Right.
a lot of that over the last couple years has just been kind of fun for me to learn mechanics, as well as make a little extra money on the side. Just playing around with vehicles, pulling them apart, selling what I can, and then scrapping the rest.
Yeah.
I've been on a bit of a Ford Ranger kick because
Oh, is
they're
that right?
just fun little trucks. So I've owned I've owned 2 that I've put on the road. I am currently rebuilding a 3rd one for my girlfriend right now. So that is in the works. So I actually just bought another Ranger last night for parts for that one. So yes, and I have
Of course you did.
3 in the yard right now. So my dad's gonna be happy when he finds that out. So that'll be after vacation though when he sees that roll in. So
He might be watching.
yeah, he might be. So
Oh, Colin. All right. That's awesome, though. That's cool. I mean, hey, do what you love, right?
yep,
So
make a little bit of money on the side and
this is a
play
good one.
around.
Chris Foreman says, "I heard Colin is a pretty good guy." I've heard that too.
Thanks, Chris. He's looking for brownie points.
Maybe.
He's gonna be running the heavies, I guess, while we're gone.
Oh, okay. All right.
Stepping
Oh, this is one of your employees?
he is one of our employees.
Oh,
He's
nice. Okay.
currently running our medium duty flatbed, and he's working on getting his AZ, but he currently has his DZ license. So
Okay. Okay.
he's stepping up into the bigger trucks and
Nice.
learning how that goes.
How does that work? Like, I mean, okay, obviously anybody who's watched before knows, like, I mean, this is an industry that's not for everyone. It's not for the lighthearted. Family sacrifices, so many other sacrifices. So when you bring somebody on board, is there usually a long you're looking okay long term, and you're starting on a 1 ton, and we want to get you to there, or like what's the process in that kind of transition?
Yeah, so we've just kind of recently done it more so for uh, that end of things for training guys from the bottom up. Like over the years, we've hired guys specifically to start out in the heavies and guys
Yep.
specifically to start out in the light duties. But with the changing markets, and it's harder to find drivers with AZ licenses to run the heavy equipment. We're just looking at transitioning our own employees from
Yeah.
light duty guys to heavy duty guys. Anyone who wants to make that step. We're working with them and getting them to upgrade their licenses. And Chris started out with just a G license. We got him his air brake endorsement, the Z part, and then he stepped up to the DZ to start driving the bigger flatbed. And that also allows him to drive the heavy wreckers. And now he's currently working on getting his AZ, so that way he can drive the tractors and the floats and all that. So he'll be able to drive everything in the yard.
Nice.
Got 2 other guys who are looking at eventually stepping up, over time and doing that as well. So it's
Cool.
something that we're bringing these guys up.
I think if I ever did it again, I just give me a 1 ton.
Yep.
Just, you
There's
know,
days I look back at and go, oh, crap, I just miss those days.
well, and honestly, for me, like, I probably wouldn't make any money because, I like the personal side of talking to the customers. I think, and it'd take me an hour to drive across town. But is that true? Like doing the 1 ton trips would be more personal than I think on the big ones, because the big ones are usually like transports and stuff, and the
Yeah,
driver's usually gone by that time or something, right?
you see a lot more faces in the
Yeah,
light duties, but you spend more time with the heavy drivers
right.
because typically when we're doing a heavy tow, the average heavy tow in town takes at least an hour, whereas like a light duty is about 30 minutes to do. And then most heavies, they don't actually stay in town. We're taking them 2,
Yeah,
3 hours away.
right.
So you do get a long period of time to sit and chat with some drivers. I've had lots of good conversations, and I've had lots of awkward silent drives for
Right.
2, 3 hours. And it's like, all right, this is how this is going to be.
Oh, lovely weather
And
we're having.
I'm good.
Yeah. I think that was one of the things I really enjoyed about it, because at that time, of course, that's when your mom and dad were starting, right? It was like,
Yeah.
I'd get a call, I'd go to Canadian Tire, and then, you'd get to know the employees in that place, right? And then I get a
Yeah.
call and I go to, Jake's Automotive and get to know those guys. And that for me was I think probably what I enjoyed most about it, right? Aside from doing the job. I mean, so actually I think what I'd rather have is just a pickup truck that says preferred towing on it, and I'll just drive around and,
You be the
I'll
boost
come
and
out
the
and go, "How you
walkout
doing, guys?
guy.
Got everything under control there? All right, good. Take care." And I'm gone.
Scene manager. I like it.
Right? But there's a lot to, training somebody. I mean, you have
Oh, yeah.
a process that you don't just go, "Okay, come on, let's do this today and that today." Like, you have things in order, I would think.
Yep. And, it's not necessarily like a very strict order, but, we like to keep guys to one particular truck as long as we can for them
Yeah,
to learn the truck, become very proficient with that truck. Um, it takes 5 years to make a good operator, and
5
for a lot
years.
of guys, 5
Wow.
years, yep. So it's a big investment on our part, and it's a big investment on, our staff's part.
Sure.
A lot of guys get into this and they're 2, 3 years in and they're like, "I wanna be running this truck. I wanna be doing that. I wanna be doing this." It's like, "Okay, we're gonna get you there, but you have to understand, you have to take all these steps before that. You can't jump 4 or 5 rungs on the ladder." And, it's fun.
Yeah,
That's the dealing with people part that we were talking about
yeah.
earlier, but, no, everyone's pretty good. They understand that it takes time. No one's really overly antsy. They're eager. They are
Yeah,
very
fair enough.
eager, but, they all understand that this takes time, and, you know, I'm not gonna hand you the keys to the light duty, wrecker the first day, and then,
Right.
next week I'll be handing you the rotator keys. It's not how
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And again, the process is important. And what about the interview process? Like, I'm applying for the job, right? Are people down now because they're not gonna be on the show?
You know what? It's funny. We did have a lot of people that were applying, and that was like one of the things. So, am I going to be on the show? Am I going to be? We had a few people apply because of that. But now,
Well,
obviously, that
why
the
not?
show's done, we don't get as many of those.
Right, right.
But you still get the odd person who's like, "Oh, are the cameras still around?" I kind of want to be on. It's like, no, the cameras aren't around. And
Yeah.
usually, those people are only interested in being on television, so you never hear back from them
No,
after
after
you tell them, "No, the
15
cameras
minutes,
are
right?
gone."
And you know what? Like, as grateful as I know you guys are for that happening, for it was like 7 years, right?
Yep.
There's still times too where that like you got to be in the right frame of mind to keep your eyes open. Like you're already keeping your eyes open for your other employees that maybe you're doing a big heavy wreck with, and now you've got some camera folks around, and that probably took some
Yeah.
getting used to,
Yeah, the
safety
first
wise.
couple seasons, they were definitely a learning curve. But you know what? The crew that we had was excellent. They were very professional.
Yeah,
They filmed a lot of the big shows, so this wasn't their first rodeo. Um, they understood the dangers of being out there, and after a couple years, it got to the point where it was actually nice to have them on scene because they were the same guys every year.
yeah, right. You build a
So
relationship.
build the relationship. They'd be able to pick up on stuff as we were going. They understood how we were rigging things. So at some points, if we're working, getting everything tight, they'd be standing on the backside saying, "Hey, come check this before you pull." So yeah, it was nice to have that extra set
Yeah,
of eyes,
extra
especially when you've been running for 20 hours. Your eyes are burning already, and
wow, right,
they're all chipper and bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and
right.
they can catch some of the things that we miss.
Are you still in touch with those guys from time to time, just to say, hey, how's life?
I haven't been recently, and I need to reach out because, yeah, I do miss that. My dad's more actively involved in keeping in
Right.
touch with them. I've had so many other things on the go.
You're busy.
Yeah, life
All right.
happens.
All right. We're going to come back to some more of your comments. If you've not asked a question, feel free to do that. And if you already have, put it in there anyway. Or even if you just want to make a comment for Collin to let him know your thoughts, that's great. We'll come back to those in a little bit. I have a surprise. Collin's like, I hate it when he says that. I did not tell Collin I was going to do this. I really hope that your mom and dad are watching as well. I found a clip.
Oh boy.
From 8 years ago. And I think I look better now. But anyway, this is a clip from 8 years ago, and this is Emergency Preparedness Day when
Oh yeah.
Collin was just really starting. And I think this was just announced that you guys were going to be on Heavy Rescue 401. This clip is about 2 minutes. Take a look at this, and then we'll be back. Well, continuing on today here at Preparedness Day at the Clearwater Arena. It's going on till 2 o'clock, but one of the coolest things happening here is this thing behind us with Preferred Towing. We got the whole family from Preferred Towing, but the youngest generation here at Preferred Towing, Collin Vandenheuvel. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
This is pretty exciting stuff. I'm sorry I missed it earlier this morning when the big crash is happening and everything, but tell us about this rotator.
So this is our biggest truck in the fleet. It's the 65-ton rotator, and it's the pride of the fleet for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've used it in many recoveries similar to this. Transports rolled over, not quite on top of a car, but we still get it out to roll over trucks just like this.
Right. It's got to be exciting, but there's got to be some danger involved in here. A lot of a safety aspect going on. What can you talk about how you've learned to be as precautious as necessary?
So when you're doing a lift like this, you really have to know the weight behind what you're lifting. So we know the weight of this because we've lifted it several times through other training scenarios. You really have to be careful not to flip the truck.
Sure, yeah.
Because that's the main thing. You don't want to flip your own truck. That would look pretty bad.
Yeah, a lot involved. Thanks, Collin. I'm going to bring Gary in here for just a second.
Right.
I told him I wouldn't, but I'm going to.
He promised he wouldn't.
I know. But listen, I just want to talk a second. You guys have got some exciting news. I know it's already been out there, but you're going to be a star.
Wow. We're going to be on TV. I'm not sure about a star, but sure.
Yeah, when's this happening? What's that about?
In January, they're going to air a new series, and it's called Heavy Rescue 401.
Yeah.
They went through the province, and they picked up on a number of heavy wrecker companies, tow companies across the province, and they picked us as one of them.
That's awesome.
So we made all episodes, I'm told, and it's going to be really good. It's really neat. We get to showcase our business.
Yeah.
hopefully put our industry in a great light. And Sarnia Lambton, they're going to show it, and we're
That's
kind of
awesome as
excited
well.
about that.
Congratulations to that.
And that's on Discovery Channel.
That's right. That's the real boss right there. Preferred Towing family, and lots going on here. An emergency preparedness day until 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Clearwater.
How about that?
That's older than 8 years ago. I can tell you that. That's
Is it? Okay.
yeah, because the show's been off for 2 years now, and the show was 7 years, so that'd be
Right.
10 years
Oh
ago.
yeah, right. Yeah. I just go by what YouTube told me. I was like, I knew I got something there, and that was back when I did this thing called TVSN Daily, and I did all these other, yeah. It was really funny because I see. So I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to your mom, and you can see or you're talking to your dad. Sorry, and you can see your mom like she knew she had
Edging
something
in.
to say. Like, I see out of the corner of my eye, Tammy. She had to make sure we said Discovery Channel, but yeah, I looked hard for that, and actually, I wasn't specifically looking for that. I was looking for something, and that one popped up, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" So you were
That's
like
awesome.
20?
Yeah. Yeah, I was 20. I was 2 years into the business at that point, so
Wow.
that would have actually been when I just started full time. I think, that was shortly after I
Yeah.
got back
Yeah.
from school.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, your voice was a lot higher.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. I couldn't resist playing that. And boy, it's even memories for me to look and go, wow, I was different. I was doing things differently and wearing different. Yeah, holy crap. I didn't have my glasses on.
Amazing how 10 years flies by, eh?
Well, no kidding, right? It's like I just turned 55, right? And Jennifer had said to me a couple of months before, well, geez, fella, you're going to be 55. How do you feel? I said, it's
What?
not
No,
being
I'm only
55 that
35.
right. Yeah, I still like 25 most days. But I said, turning 55 wasn't so bad. It was more like Jennifer and I have been together 14 years. And I said, we've been together 14 years. And how fast did that go? How fast do you think the next 5 is going to go when I turn 60? So more to come. More to come on that one. All right. Here's some pictures Collin sent me. Let's start up at the top here, buddy. Top left, I guess, and tell us what we're looking at.
Yeah, that one was, I'm trying to think when we did that one. We've done so many garbage haulers. It seems to be the only thing we're recovering anymore. But yeah, that one, oh, that was probably a year and a half ago. I know I posted all of the pictures on the pages for all these recoveries,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was yeah, that was a late night or early morning, 2 a.m.
Yeah.
call, something like that. Fully loaded, open top, blew all the garbage out as soon as it rolled over. So
Oh, yeah, of
we
course.
operated it with as much of the load left in it as
Couldn't
we
have been an
could.
empty
But
truck.
yeah, exactly. The empty garbage haulers never go over, and they just make a mess.
Right. And then, so is that on you guys to clean that up, or is that somebody else comes out and does that, or?
So it just depends on what the company wants to do.
Okay.
We always ask the company if they've got someone in mind they want to come clean it
Right.
out. We do have crews that we hire out. We don't have any of the equipment ourselves. It's not a job that we really want to get into because we're so busy with everything else. So we hire that out. We have
You're
a
a
couple
towing
local
company.
companies. Yeah, exactly. So there's other companies out there that we work with locally to do that sort of stuff.
Nice.
Clean
Nice.
up the ditches.
Then this one here looks like a bit of a snowstorm.
Yeah, and that was another garbage hauler. That one stayed upright, went into the center median. We had to pull that one out backwards because of where it went in behind the guardrail. Again, fully loaded, 140,000 pounds, and that's something
Wow.
that I always get comments. It's funny when I post these pictures up and I say, "Oh, it's 140,000 pounds," and everyone's like, there's no way the trucks can't weigh that much." It's like, here in Ontario and in Michigan, they can actually gross out at 140,000 before they actually need permits to run.
Right.
So
Wow.
yeah, we can see some pretty heavy stuff. Propane haulers and the garbage trucks. Those seem to be the two that we get the most, and they're the heaviest things on the road.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you've got, what are you lifting up here? This car.
More fishing. So that one was, I want to say that was about 2 years ago we did that one. And that one was a weird situation. We get called in the middle of the night. This lady had driven off the ferry dock hill. Um, we're still not sure how she did it because it seemed very fishy, if you will.
I was
um,
thinking it.
but she managed to get into the water, into the river there. She got out, thankfully.
Right.
No one was injured. Came out, had some divers. Actually, the Port Huron police divers came over because there
Oh,
was no one else that was able to go dive on it for us. So they came over and assisted us with the dive and got it all rigged up for us.
nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, what's this? We got a tractor down here.
Yeah, last but not least, that one was a fun one. So that one was fully loaded with corn,
Do you have like a
tractor
microwave
trailer.
going off?
Yeah.
Is that a bomb?
That's not me. I don't think so.
Oh,
Is your fire alarm going off, Dave?
I don't know.
Run!
I don't know what that was. That's my fan. And it was like, I think battery's low. I thought it was you.
Mm,
It's like, what is that? Anyway,
not on
sir,
my end.
go ahead. What is the tractor here?
Yeah, so it was a tractor trailer fully loaded with corn, and it was just one of those nights. The driver was down some narrow country roads. Unfortunately, he missed the corner a little bit. Trailer wheels went over the edge of the ditch, and we're talking like it was 12-foot deep ditch there. And it was pretty much a straight 90 drop off. So as soon as he caught that edge, it was like game over. Tires caught, and everything just went right over. Lost the load in the ditch.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, that was a fun job Aaron and I did back about a year ago.
Cool. Cool. I know there was another one recently down there. I didn't get the pictures for it, but down off of Front Street there that you had an old
Cadillac.
Cadillac go in there. It's like, is that a mafia hit or something? Or not?
Yeah, I was getting lots of comments on that one. That
Right?
was
Saw that.
that was a pretty cool job, actually.
Yeah.
It was,
Everybody got out
anytime we
there
do
too. There was some. We should give a shout out to some bystanders who chose
yes,
to jump in on their own and help get some people out.
yeah, some civilian bystanders. It was an elderly couple and just mistook drive for reverse, and it was game over after that. But thankfully, no one was hurt.
Yeah.
Car ended up in the bay, but at the end of the day, it wasn't anything serious. No serious environmental impact. There was very little fluids lost. So at the end of the day, it was as minimal of an impact as physically possible.
Yeah. Um, always positive when it comes out that way for sure.
Yep.
Here's the one that Colin and I are arguing. I still think it was 2 years ago, but whatever. This is one that yeah, you guys were away and it gave me the call and said, hey, if you want to go down. So I took my drone down. This is down River Road.
Yep.
And then this is a little bit of what we saw, and I think there's a little bit more what happened there. Somebody lost control and just went right down. And yeah, can you talk a little bit about this and who is involved in doing this?
Yeah, so we were away. So this one we left up to the team. I know Aaron was out there. I believe Chris was out there, and Pete was out there on that one. It was definitely it was a bit more challenging than the other ones that we had dealt with. Like most of the other ones where cargo is in the river, we're able to get the rotator close enough. We can pick it right up and put it back on the shore. But the nearest roadway or solid area is quite a distance away from where that vehicle ended up in the water. So there was no way of getting a rotator or even a wrecker down there. So we opted to use the winch box, which is a fantastic piece of equipment that we've got for our skid steer. We can do a whole bunch of different jobs with that thing. We've used it to help with heavy recoveries. It's fantastic for going off road to recover vehicles deep into a bush. If people are going off roading or something like that, it's also really nice when we get a lot of recoveries down back roads that don't get plowed, and people get
Oh
them
yeah.
into themselves into situations that they just can't get themselves out of. So we can just load that up, park on the main road, and we just drive that thing down, and she just walks through everything. So it's fantastic for these odd
It
little
looks like a fun
jobs.
little toy.
Oh, it's fun, all right. It is fun. We've
This
used
was
that more than we expected, that's for sure.
yeah. I know the guys did a great job there, and I was. I mean, fire was there, police were there, and they were all good to me too. They were like, "Yeah, we heard you were coming," and so, I mean, I made sure it stayed out of the way. But I get like the close-up view because I'm watching it up in the air and on my phone too, and then I watch the videos after. And this is a video that I'll try to dig up, and we'll see if we can put out there a little bit. But to watch the to be there and watch your team work together, and not just their own team, but they've got to work with fire, they got to work with police and whatever else is involved. Sometimes maybe there's a gas company involved, right? Or an
Yep.
electrical company. And that really that teamwork, right, really is that's a fine skill in its own.
Yeah, and that's the thing is we work with so many different people in many different industries. As you said, the fire, EMS, police, hydro very often when we get cars that go through poles or through street lights or something like
Right.
that. A lot of safety representatives for companies. So, we're always doing our
Right.
best to make sure that we are providing the best quality service that we can, and trying to gain work later down the road. Because, especially with the safety representatives from companies, if this is their first wreck in our area, and knock on wood, they don't have anymore. But if they do, or even if they have a breakdown in our area, we want them to call us and use us for any
Yeah,
future services.
for sure. Thanks for sharing all the info on that, Colin. That's
Yeah.
here. We're going to come back to our comments, folks. We're just a few minutes away from wrapping things up, but if you still got some comments, there's still some time, and we're not a major network, so I mean, if we go a little over time, we're allowed. Thomas Walters says hello from Pennsylvania,
Hey, Thomas.
and Eric. Do you miss doing the show? I think kind of answered. I would imagine, yeah, a little bit, right?
A little bit, Eric. Yeah, I do.
Hello from British Columbia. Thanks, Irene.
Hey, Irene.
Okay, I wasn't going to bring this up, but Jack did.
Water and mud. Yeah. Yeah. It's, you know what? I've just come to accept it
Right,
anymore. That's all I get. It's just there's water or there's mud involved.
right.
I'm not coming home clean.
I'm glad there weren't cameras back when I was doing it. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah. Carl says, "Oh, he's going back to your trailer. Never seen a trailer with wheels up." Right. Here's Sean Murtaugh from Trail East Trailers. Yeah, that's something else that
Yep.
you guys are involved with. Talk about that.
Yeah, so we're the Canadian dealer for Trail East Trailers. Sean's our awesome counterpart at the factory. He helps us get everything arranged for ordering trailers for our customers and for ourselves. Currently, we have three of their trailers, two sliding axles and one bus hauler, and man, they're fantastic. Like these guys, they'll do anything for their customers. They're fantastic to work with, and we love their products. Like their trailers are they're solid trailers. Couldn't get anything better.
Nice, nice. Mark Colbrand. He's
Look at
around. Oh,
that.
he's going back. Ham radio speaks to the operators. He's a funny guy, that Mark.
He is.
What else we got here? Where'd it go? Oh, it happened. There we go. Brian, oh my God, it's been a while since we've seen you. Will you be bringing back a series to Netflix? No, we've answered that a few times. So we're just getting you now, Brian. But from Cornwall in the UK, all buzzing for the England final Euro 2024.
I know that Canada was playing football there for a little bit. So I think we just got knocked out by
Right.
was that Argentina that knocked us out there?
I don't know. I don't know. I know my
You weren't
mother-in-law
following
was
it?
over yesterday for lunch and I had an orange shirt on
Uh-oh.
for no reason. Then it was an orange shirt. I just grabbed it and threw it on and she come over and said, oh, you're going for that's the Dutch, right?
The Dutchies, yeah, you're sporting us.
She thought I was just the coolest son-in-law because I'm like, I don't have a clue what you're talking about. I don't even watch it. I don't know how to spell soccer or football or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I just liked that orange. That was my orange shirt that day. It was right there. Want to wear orange. Anyway, that was good. I don't know if they. Oh yeah, okay. The merch from Preferred Towing is pretty great. If they still have the, do they still have the Lego
We
record?
still have plenty, so if anyone's interested in them, contact us. We still have lots, so we'd love
I still
to.
have mine. I haven't put it together yet.
Jeez, it's only been like what, 4 years?
I have two actually.
You have two, and one of those was supposed to be put together, wasn't it? Didn't you buy one to keep in the box and one to put together?
Moving on.
Moving on, yeah.
Yeah, hang on one sec. Everybody stay there.
Mm. Oh, he's gone, so I'm in control now. Oh,
Coming back.
there he is.
Almost here. Shameless plug. I don't know if you can even see that because I got. Oh, now I'm banging my microphone around. This new camera that I got. What's going on? There you go. There it is.
There we go.
This new camera's not falling. There we go.
There we
These
go.
are pretty
There.
awesome though. 65-ton rotator. I got my signatures on there. Your signatures on there, I should say. No, I'm saving it. I'm gonna sell it on eBay in about 30 years.
Yeah, there we go.
See what I can get out of it. Here's a good question, Daniel. When are your days off?
I get some. We take turns doing the on-call shifts. So realistically, we do one weekend on call and then 2 weekends off with the heavies, as long as the rotation follows somewhat of a normal scheme and people aren't off. But
Right.
I head out tomorrow. I'm heading out before my parents. And I'm going to be going camping for a couple days before I meet them at the cottage. So go up to Huntsville this weekend. So anyone
up there.
sees a little red Nissan pickup truck with a little travel trailer, that's me. It's all decked out with, well, it says Preferred Towing on the side. Slow down, move over on the back. Can't miss it.
Cool. Right on. Who else we got here? Nikki, hello, Toronto. Miss HR 401 very much. I'm sure lots do. We have
Hey,
no
Nikki.
answer for you. Greg Baker says, I came from Australia to meet Preferred Towing Team. I loved them so much. I moved from Australia to Sarnia.
Yep, we see him every once in a while. I haven't seen him in a while though. I haven't seen you around. But he's working
cool.
out in Watford last time I talked to him.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right. Well, welcome, Greg. I had no idea. We got family out in Watford, or Jennifer's family's out Watford way too. So maybe we'll meet you someday.
Oh, he was at one of the premieres. Actually, he's been to a couple, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Chris. Cody and I moved. Oh, it was okay. I thought it was
Chris,
Ben. I couldn't remember, but it was Chris and Cody. And
yeah, that's right.
So it was, I think let me get the names right. So it was Cody that showed up in the 1 ton, right?
Yep.
And so I have my motorcycle. It's a big motorcycle. It's like poor guy. He pulled up with this 1 ton, and I'm like, "There's no way that they're moving my bike with that. That's mine. I know it can be done properly, but I was just like, so he's like, don't worry, the flatbed's on the way. And okay, yeah, okay. And then I think probably for Cody, it was probably his first time doing a motorcycle. He's fairly new, right?
Yeah, he's been with us for just over a year now.
Okay,
I've known him for years and years. He's actually a personal friend of mine, so
nice.
I've known him for a long time. But yeah, I think he's done a couple, but that was probably the first big bike he's ever moved. A lot, like we do a lot of like the smaller crotch rockets and
Right.
all that sort of stuff. But yeah, your bike's a little bigger.
Just a little bit, right? Poor guy had a great sense of humor though, because I was like, the flatbed comes, and of course there's me. I think I was telling you, I'm like, well, I'll just drive it up there. Don't worry about it. And they're like, no, 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 Mr. Burrows. That's he very politely said, that's not going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
he was he's like, well, no, for insurance, and he gave me the proper answer. I was like, oh, nobody will know anyway. I've always been tempted though. I mean, I know it would never happen, and it's not a smart choice, but flatbeds down, you're on a motorcycle, you just want to,
Yeah.
just like
You can
the
hazard it
hazard,
off.
right? I've always wanted to go. I don't know what they're called. They're like a big tractor that's way up high, and the wheels are really wide.
Oh yeah, the irrigator.
Sure.
I know exactly which.
I've
Yeah,
always wanted
I
to
can't.
just like go right under that,
Yeah,
but Jennifer, she doesn't feel very good about me doing that, so
yeah, probably not a good idea.
probably not. So thanks, Chris and Cody. I appreciate that. And they were and I'm not just blowing smoke here. They were very professional. And I know that just from knowing you guys and your parents for a long time, that is something that is really important to you.
Yes.
And you've not just set standards at preferred towing, you guys have set standards in the towing industry. And that I commend you and your family for doing that, because you've had a lot of well, um, you've been advocates in the towing industry.
Yeah, and that's been something that my parents, when they started the business, that was their goal because the fun story about that, I don't know, I don't think I've ever told this story, but they years and years and years ago put their car in the ditch, and this is like 30 some odd years ago in a snowstorm. They put their car in a ditch. And I don't know if this probably was after my dad was working for his brother. He was running a tow truck before preferred towing existed, for his brother who had an auto shop. Um, and they put their car in the ditch somewhere out of town, and they called up a tow truck, and it was, I guess, one of the worst experiences they had ever had. The truck was filthy. The operator was very disrespectful and not polite, and that was kind of the fire for them to start up on their own.
Yep.
Um,
Great story.
and here we are today.
And I've said it before, but I'll say it again for those that maybe haven't heard that. I remember again when I worked for your parents. I remember your dad said to me one day, he goes, "David, I'm going to have more trucks, and I'm going to have a fleet. I'm going to have big, heavy trucks, and I'm like he said it out loud. He sold it to the universe. He told
Yep,
me more than once, and so did your mom, that this is our plan. Like they had, and they didn't always know how they were going to do it.
yep,
I remember stories from them that, like going, I remember, I had to pay for this, and we were like, oh my goodness, how are we going to pay for that? And now that's a regular occurrence daily, and
yep.
living out of a one bedroom apartment in the basement of his parents. So I mean, it's an amazing story. But just hard work, dedication, persistency, and belief in yourself, and surrounding yourself with the right people, having the right employees and the people that believe in you has definitely brought you guys a long way for sure.
Yes,
Let's
it
see.
has.
Dave from Buffalo, New York. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, Dave agrees with me. 1-ton wrecker all day long, right, Dave?
Yep.
Right.
That that was his favorite truck. He got my truck after I was
Okay.
moved up to the heavies.
There you go. When you speak heavies, does that include the rotator, or is there a different license for rotators? Great question.
Nope. So the heavies all fall under the same class. So anyone can actually drive the heavy wreckers, including the rotator, with a DZ license. It's a really weird classification with tow trucks. You can actually tow a full tractor trailer unit behind a heavy wrecker with a DZ license, but the operator cannot drive that tractor trailer without an AZ. It's some weird loophole, but
All
I'm
right.
sure they'll close that eventually.
Dean from North Bay, Ontario says hello.
Hey, Dean.
Um, all right. Boy, this Jack, he's really got lots of questions.
We've been off so long.
I know. He wants to know if your HR 401 logos are going to disappear in the future. Do you get to keep them, or is like
Uh, it- they are allowing us to keep them, and as long as no one from a law office tells me I can't have them, I'll keep them up.
yeah? Why
Everyone,
wouldn't you?
everyone seems to be very good about it. It's not like the show was ended on bad terms or anything like
Yeah, that's
that.
right. That's right.
So we'll keep using them.
Logan Tyler says hello.
Hi, Logan.
What's this, Tracy Lee? We love you at the bridge.
Oh, I wonder if she's one of the bridge attendants there. We do a lot of work on the Blue Water Bridge, and especially right now with the one span being closed, we're on speed dial because if anything goes down at the top of the bridge, it's it's a mess.
Right. uh okay, we're catching up. Darlene says thanks for sharing the clip. It was great.
It was that was a real trip down memory lane right there.
uh do you remember all these, or did you have to research to bring back these memories? I think he's talking about the pictures.
Oh, I'm pretty good at remembering recoveries if I have a picture. I can usually look at the picture and go, okay, yeah, I know exactly which job that was. I don't remember all the details. I usually have to look at a few more pictures than just
Right.
one. But yeah, no, I remember for the majority, I remember most recoveries because they
There you
all
go.
have one little thing that sticks
Right.
out.
Okay, so Rachel, and you've sort of it was what was the most unlikely, but Colin, what is the weirdest thing you've ever seen at night? My response would be, you
Ooh.
mean during a tow, or just weirdest thing I've seen at night? Because I've seen some weird things at night.
Yeah, you know what? I I'm big into the paranormal stuff, so I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
I know a lot of people don't go under that, but like when you're driving at 2 in the morning, there's some weird things that can happen on the roadways, and sometimes you're like, I must be too tired. But other times you're like, no, I know I saw that. And it's just like it
right.
gives you goosebumps sometimes. Like you'll see someone standing on the side of the road, and it's like, I'm pretty sure I just saw what I saw.
The hitchhiker.
Yeah.
Um, Jack wants to know if we're going to start a regular Q&A. I don't think the word regular is in Colin. Definitely not in Colin. It's not in my line of
Yeah.
work either. Nobody really knows. My wife still doesn't know what I do for a living, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't call it
We're
anything I
trying
do.
our best. We'll
Right.
we'll put it that way. We're trying our best to do it
Yeah,
where we can, and
we're very conscious about it. I think, Colin, and we
yeah,
do, appreciate people reaching out to both of us and saying, "Hey, when are you going to do that?" And it's on our minds for sure.
yes, it is.
Uh, this is Kelly. Had my dad send me out hoodies you all signed, as he knows you, and I wanted to meet you when I was back from BC. Cool.
Well, thank you for getting the merchandise, Kelly.
Chris from Ottawa, loved HR 401. I'll be in Sarnia the weekend of October. There you go.
All right. If I am around, call the office, see if I'm around that weekend, and yeah, I can swing by the office and say hi.
Yeah. He's asking how much the hoodies are. Again, folks, if you want to support Ohana Landing and get some heavy rescue merchandise, just go to preferredtowing.com and you'll be able to find the link there. Or you can also message them on Facebook. And if you want to make donations to Ohana Landing, again, there's links on the website, and get you in touch with Carol there. She handles a lot of that stuff and is more than happy to help you out. Okay, there you go. Dennis Reel, your family's an inspiration to us. My wife and I just started our own family towing business. Keep up the positivity.
Well, thank you, Dennis. That's awesome. It's nice to see other people getting into this business because there's a lot more getting out on the daily than there are getting in.
Nice. A lot of similar ones here, folks. I won't go through them all. I know they're like missed the show. Love to see you back on the show. There's nothing in the works at this point that we can share with you. Actually, because there isn't anything that's happening. But love the love coming in. This
They
is an
do have a
interesting.
new show. Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
they do have a new show coming out, and it's set out in Wyoming, Montana, and Colorado, I believe. So definitely check that out. It follows a bunch of companies that tow along the I-80. I've personally driven that highway, and I know how crazy it can get.
Wow,
So, check that out. Same production company, a lot of the same camera guys.
right on. Well, here's an interesting one. I know there's only try this on new certification. How is that affecting your hiring process?
Yep. So this is another reason why I haven't been around a lot lately. Both my dad, myself, and my mom, we've all been very active in the industry, in trying to promote the good side of the industry over the last little bit, because there have been a lot of new regulations that affect the towing industry. And I think I want to do another one of these, Dave, where I can kind of explain what's happened,
Yeah, anytime.
um, because there has been so much that's changed since January, and it was all dropped on us literally 3 days before January 1st. We were all expected to comply with it as of January 1st. So there's been a lot of growing pains, a lot of changes to the industry. Um, but to specifically answer that question, we haven't had to hire anyone since, but going forward, the hiring process is going to be significantly more difficult because before we actually can hire a person on, we have to send them to a training course. They have to pass this training course. Then we have to get a police check, for them to get their towing license, and then we can actually physically hire them. Because if not, can't. Um, we can't have them in the truck. So we as a business have to spend it's $850 for this training course,
Wow.
and there's no guarantee that the person that we put through this training course will actually get accepted, and get their license. So this is going to affect the towing businesses across the province of Ontario, and I think we'll do another hour-long video. I
Yeah,
need to come up with a lot of talking points on the changes because there are just so many.
right.
So we'll go into this another
There you
time.
go.
That's
There's the
its
show.
own
There's the show
video.
right there. Yeah, and maybe that's one that we bring your dad on for to help with that conversation as well. Because again, I know, and your mom too. Like who?
Yeah, both my
Uh,
mom, my dad, because they're very active in this. They more so on the legislative side. I was in the background just trying to read through all of the new legislation to pick it apart and make sure that we comply with everything, and to find any sort of not loopholes, but anything that we can use to continue doing what we're doing without making changes
right
where we
on.
don't need to.
Colin, we're an hour and 20 minutes in. I know we could keep going, but I don't know about you, but I've got another appointment.
I hear you.
And
I
you've got
hear
to
you.
have
I've got
supper
to
yet. I
get
don't think
ready.
you've had supper yet either, right? So
I have not.
we want to. I'm going to end in just a moment here with a reminder clip, and then that'll be the end of the show. But thanks everybody for sending us the love and spending time with Colin here tonight. And I'm happy to be here and do this again. It's always a great conversation, and um, some more things, I guess, like we'll be talking about in the future. And say we don't have another date for our next one, but we will be back. We will be
We
back.
will be back.
And Collin, thank you so much. Any
Thank
final
you.
words do you want to throw out there before we go, or is that it? Are we good?
You know what? I just want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in again. Sorry it's been so long. Sorry I haven't been as active on social media. Just all these new changes in my life, in the business, in my roles. There's been a lot of stressors on me, so I've been just trying to work through everything.
Yep.
But
You're doing
where
great,
I
man.
can, I'm making the posts and doing this sort of stuff where I can.
Awesome. Collin, thanks so much. Thanks to all of you. And remember,
I'm not sure what you're trying to edit.
I had a great
Always
exit
listening.
go in there and she messed it right up. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for being there. And remember, slow down and move over. It's the law. Good night, everybody.
The best thing that the public can do to help us is move over, slow down. It's also the law to move over when you're approaching a stopped police cruiser or tow truck, ambulance, fire. You need to move over and give that one lane if it's safe to do so. And if you can't, you need to at least slow down. We want to go home to our families at the end of the day too.